Okay, in this video we're going to talk about landing page validation for email and focus on the analytics validation use case. With ObservePoint, you can go on the left-hand side, and the nav bar you can select under configurations, you can select email inboxes. There's some guides here to step you through the process on how to set this up, but we're going to demonstrate that also in this video. So the whole goal here is to create a channel from which ObservePoint will receive emails and extract the links or the landing pages associated with those emails and validate them using audits and the associated tag and variable rules and consent categories and alerts. So essentially we're going to team up analytics validation teams with email campaign teams, and we're going to create a solution that automatically validates the landing pages associated with their emails. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create Inbox now and set up our first inbox. Let's call this email validation demo, and you can provide a label if you'd like or notes. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. I'm going to go to Select Audits. These are the audits that are going to run whenever a new email is received in the inbox. So I'm going to create a new audit in this case, and I'm going to give it a name, email validation demo. I can configure any other test scenario settings, but for now I'll just leave it alone. The URL sources you don't have to worry about because it'll be connected to the email inbox. Then I'm going to want to define some standards. I'll pick 404 errors, which are really important for me to know about. I need to know that none of these landing pages are resulting in a 404 error. And another example of a recommended alert is making sure that the final URL isn't missing my important campaign ID parameter. In this case, CID is the example I'm giving. Next, I'm going to apply a consent category, which is an option you can add as well. We can track unapproved. We can approve only certain necessary cookies and test an opted out scenario, or we can add a consent category for all approved items for opted in. And then tag and variable rules, I'm just going to add for now the Adobe Analytics is present rule, but there are other rules that we could add to check on every single one of these landing pages. If additional pre-audit actions are necessary to opt out or opt into tracking, you can make those. You can set those up here, and there's on-page actions, but we're not going to use either of those today for this example. I'm going to go ahead and save the audit, and you can see there that this audit is now linked to this email inbox. There's some additional instructions on how you can exclude email messages from being collected in ObservePoint, and that's explained here. You also have the option to take links from these inbound email messages and send them to an existing audit and have it just be added to an existing audit that may be scanning other things. Or you can select copy existing audit and create a new audit from another existing audit. Once you have those test scenarios defined, and by the way, we can support multiple test scenarios, so you could add 4 or 5 audits and have all of them scan different test scenarios for a particular set of links that we collect from an email, and you can receive alerts and notifications for all those. The notifications you'll receive will be grouped together. So let's say you had 4 audits that ran as a result of an inbound email. After the completion of those 4 audits, you'll get a single email, and that will combine insights from all 4 of those audits and tell you about the alerts that failed as a result. So if there's unapproved cookies, unapproved tags, the CID query parameter was missing, there were any 404 errors, those are all being included in one summary email that will be sent to, in this case, myself. But if you have people subscribe to the audits already, or alerts, or rules, then they will be automatically populated here in this list, but it's easy enough to add other email addresses right here in line. Okay, and then if you want to receive an email when a notification when the email is first received, you can also do that as an additional. You can subscribe to that additional notification. telling you when the email was received. Sometimes these audits can take a little bit of time, so you get an email when it was first received, and then you'd also get an email notification when it's completed. That's it for creating inboxes. It's super simple. Now the last step is to take this email address and share it with your email teams. And we recommend they add it to their seed list, which is generally a distribution list that they set up for testing. Prior to blasting tens of thousands of users, they're going to send this to a seed list or a test audience. And ObservePoint will just be another source of feedback for the email and the landing pages associated with it. So this can now be baked into your process if they just add ObservePoint to that seed list, and then make sure that those teams are added to the notifications. The notification that they'll receive is awesome. It's going to just summarize and give you a summary of the alerts that may have failed, and it's going to give you a thumbs up if all the alerts, all the tests passed and none of the alerts were triggered, or it will warn you if any of those tests did not pass. And the whole goal here is to streamline the process, to accelerate the process of testing emails before you send them out, and make sure that the attribution, the analytics is working as expected. So that's landing page validation for email. If you have additional questions, you can reach out to your ObservePoint contact or reach out to our support team. We'd be happy to help, and we'd love your feedback. Thanks.